Hi, welcome in. Let me adjust all my tech stuff. Rosie. I just thought it'd be fun to just do a little Stephen King chat. I know. I feel naked without it, honestly. I I had this moment like doing some Nancy Drews where I was like, "Oh, I want to like answer questions and not feel totally distracted by Drew." But now, floating free, I feel like I've entered the deep end. But so I'm so sorry. I'm having trouble with this mic. After recommending Revival and having so many people say that they were going to start it, I had this moment of like, oh my God, I just want to talk about this book. And I had this moment of like, wait, is it as scary as I remember? Like, I should do a reread. What if it's not as good? And somebody recommended that David Morse does the audiobook, and I just read the print version before. And oh my God, I made it through like half of the audiobook hiking the other day. It's so good. And then I swear I have a copy of Revival somewhere, but I don't know where the hell I put it. But then I have his on writing book too. And I just wanted to ramble about if anybody wants to talk about The Dark Tower or it. It's so good. I I sometimes have an issue with like fiction books where I'm not as good as like I don't get as invested in it if it's an audiobook. And I love an audiobook, but my brain's better at processing nonfiction. I think I sometimes don't get as attached to the characters. But but Revival is so good. Rosie's already making an appearance. Hi. Oh, we've already got a cat tantrum. I haven't seen episode 4 yet. I only watched the eyes scene. I saw I was trying to avoid spoilers, but then I saw the clip and I had to watch the scene. And oh my God. I had this moment watching the third episode where I was like, okay, you know what? The CGI is not great, but that's kind of fun. I'm experiencing what adults did when the It miniseries came out, and I'm sure it seemed so cheesy, but it scared a generation of kids. And now that's going to be Welcome to Derry. But now after episode 4 and how gross that is, I'm like, are there kids out there watching it right now? But I heard that episode 4 is the best so far, so I have to watch that one. But yeah, Dark Tower is one, like I talked about in a video, like, Dark Tower is one that meant so much to me, I'm almost nervous to do a reread of it. Like, oh, she's walking. Rosie's like tiptoeing through all the technology. Truly, you don't see, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. There's something about it. Oh, yeah, okay. See, I have to watch the actual episode. I saw something, I think they were talking about it on Too Scary Didn't Watch one time, where Dario Argento would focus on injuries that you could imagine getting. Where, like, if you see an arm sawed off in a movie, your brain probably can't wrap itself around, like, what would that feel like? You're just like, oh, gross. But there's something about, like, eyes or your Achilles tendon or, like, something under the nail where he would focus in on injuries like that where your imagination could really take it. And that eye thing, it just really made me think of, like, oh, yeah, that would be awful. We all know what it's like to have something just gross in your eye. Or just like stuck in your eye. I have high hopes about Mike Flanagan doing Dark Tower. He was supposed to do Revival too, and apparently just hit a wall of like, it was too expensive or something. because somebody else, I want to say Jeff Boone, is that the name? Was working on Revival at first. Um, it petered out, and then Mike Flanagan said he hit the same wall. And I think it's just hard because it there's such a time, like it goes across such a timeline. I just wonder if it's hard to cast. And hi over on YouTube. I I understood it being gross, but I don't understand the instinct of like I'm gonna cut off my eyeball. But it certainly was gross and jarring. But I think also the ending of Dark Tower, and I won't spoil it in case for anybody who is reading it, but for anybody who has read those, like both of them have a very specific ending that they're both so polarizing. And I think it's really interesting because Dark Tower, I love the ending. Like it wrapped it up so perfectly for me. And then I was reading through comments where people were talking about how it just made them so angry. And I understand where they're coming from, where like, it's an ending that is, it's an ending where you shut the book and you're just like, but it's fun to see them delve into Derry being evil, like the idea of like a fully haunted town. But yeah, I think that this reread of Revival is also getting me. I read it for the first time on the plane in February 2020. I was flying home to visit my family in Seattle, and there were just rumors about like this COVID thing might be getting kind of bad. Like I think we just had our first, there had just been like a case here in Washington. And just the idea of like the senselessness of tragedy in that book certainly hits very differently, like rereading now. And it hits differently reading it at 34 versus 29. Derry is evil. Derry and Derry. And then it's just so funny, in contrast, I come back to his on writing book over and over again. Yeah, it's because it's haunted. It's haunted gas. I come back to this book over and over again, and then I wound up getting the audiobook that he reads. And that's even more delightful. But I'm excited about if Mike Flanagan does Dark Tower. I think he just understands, like, I talked about this about the first couple episodes of Welcome to Derry. What wasn't quite working for me at first was it just feeling so joyless. And it's my only issue with Lily in general, not the acting. Like, I think that the actress is really great. But I think that there's just this feeling of like this character who's so enmeshed in tragedy. And I think what I always come back to with it is like these kids just like finding joy in dark times. God, I truly feel so like, it feels so weird to not have Nancy Drew to come back to just cling to my Stephen King book. I don't know how I feel about the military angle either. And I've missed episode 4, so maybe it really maybe that seals it. But I think right now, what hasn't quite hit me the same is like, it feels like adults are dealing with it more than kids are. Like, kids have had these scary scenes, but you have these adults going out to capture it? I don't know. He also just has such down-to-earth advice on writing. Like, he mentions just to cut adverbs all the time. And that's something I come back to over and over. Or when I leave adverbs in and think, you shouldn't. You don't need this. Well, It's like a spaceship. It's like a spaceship situation. Like it crash landed. I wish I had a text to refer to. But yeah, I've doing this revival reread. I remember it's a hard one to recommend because I think the best part about it is that it sneaks up on you. Like universally when I see people talk about, "Oh my god, that one really really scared me." They talk about going into it as, "Oh, I just bought the latest Stephen King book." Uh it gives Pennywise like the background of Pennywise we essentially get is that he or she has shown up multiple times like throughout Derry's history. But when we see Pennywise's actual like perspective on the world, it's kind of just this parasite alien thing that's crash landed. And it's such funny little interludes in the book because it's just this like very whiny creature. I only have the audiobook. I wish that I had the text to go back to. But yeah, I think Mike Flanagan is just so good at capturing warmth. The guy just, he's so happy to wear his heart on his sleeve and stuff. And I love a Mike Flanagan monologue. I'll defend it forever. I'm finally getting into Midnight Mass, which people have been recommending forever. The one thing, and this is just personal preference, I'm happy to hear what other people think. And I think Bill Skarsgård does an incredible job. But the one thing that hasn't quite worked for me in either of the adaptations is going full, like having him be a creepy clown right off the bat. Where in the book, like the whole shtick is this was before clowns were universally regarded as super creepy. And so it's kind of this Ronald McDonald entity. And then the idea, there was the whole thing of like, oh man, sometimes I look at clowns and they're also creepy. But I think him being like creepy immediately, that whole Georgie scene, I'm like, in what world would a 6-year-old talk to this creepy thing? But hey, Bill Skarsgård was great. He's great in everything. But yeah, I need to do a Dark Tower reread and just fully. I think I powered through Drawing of the Three and The Wastelands again. And then I just couldn't get myself to read Wizard and Glass because it just made. I remember it being really sad in the end, and I just couldn't go on that journey again. But that means that it's just in middle school, or maybe freshman Mandy's brain. It's just funny, those texts where you're like, I cannot judge this through any sort of objective lens. Like sometimes when people really defend Harry Potter and want to separate the art from the artist and like keep going and seeing whatever new Harry Potter movie they have out, I'm like, how? Like, just let it go. But then Dark Tower is mine. It's in my heart forever. Oh, first book. I read Carrie first, but I think I'd say The Shining. Just because it's such a classic and it's so good. And there are for sure parts in it where a bunch of the like big scary moments have for sure been spoiled for you. But there are some sneaky ones in there that nobody talks about. There's a playground scene in there that chilled me to the bone. Yeah, I guess confusion would get you. And in the book, like he smells popcorn and everything. Yeah, poor Georgie. Yeah, The Shining is so good. Oh, now I want to do a Shining reread. And then if you're looking for like very scary, I think I would go with Misery. Misery's just like creepy and so weird. And scary in such a different way than the book. Scary in a different way than the movie. Yeah, there are people who just, they're gonna buy every new Harry Potter thing no matter what, and I don't quite get that. It's such a good daylight savings time read. God, the foot scene in that. I swear that the foot scene is worse than the movie. God, and the scene with the sheriff. I so vividly remember reading that scene at Boys and Girls Club and just like reading the sheriff scene and being like, and then making all my friends read it. Welcome in. No Nancy Drew, just chatting about books. If anybody has any book recommendations, let me know. Stephen King's like always my go-to. I've been in a nice rhythm of like, I'll hike and have one little earbud in and then I can plow through an audiobook. And it's so nice. But I think that then I pass other hikers and I look like, it's so good. David Morse does such a great job with the audiobook. And I like my issue with some, and I would apply this to like men and women doing audiobook readings, is like when men do female characters, sometimes they'll do kind of a this, and it's like, don't do the voice. Just have Susan or whatever, just give her a normal voice. And to be fair, I can't remember, I won't say what audiobook I was reading, but it was a female audiobook narrator, and every time she did a guy, she kind of did it like this. It was like, I don't know. I think we just do a normal voice, and I'll just believe you that that's David. Yeah, don't do the voice. But yeah, he does a really great job of like, each character feels like a different character. But he's not doing women like this. Yeah. I haven't read a lot of his like super recent stuff, but I saw people saying that Mr. Mercedes is really great. And it's fun. My revival reread, I think I was kind of just like, I just grabbed it as like a book to read on the plane. And D&D actual play shows. No, I don't. Do you have any you'd recommend? I know that, like, the McElroy brothers do one, right? Well, they have a whole podcast about it. The tricky thing about recommending a revival is it has... Thank you. Cat Dog was gross. But, Libby is fantastic. It makes me so mad that I was giving money to Audible for so long because I would do their, like, you get 1 credit a month. Libby rocks. And the freedom of listening to an audiobook and being like, no, I don't like this one, and returning it, instead of the guilt of, like, you've spent a credit on it and now you're stuck. Oh, it's wonderful. God, I love my brother and me. Oh, and a video that I keep meaning to do is just the different forms of, like, the themes of evil that Stephen King explores in it. Because so when I posted about the sewer scene, I had someone ask, like, about Patrick Hockstetter, and, like, I think what's so fascinating about Patrick Hockstetter, I'm gonna keep saying first and last names because my boyfriend is named Patrick. But But he's such an evil character. It's so interesting to me that both adaptations don't even deal with him. Like the miniseries doesn't even have him as a character. And then I'd love to hear from anybody who's only seen the movie and hasn't read the book. Like they kind of just make him a fourth bully. Like he's just like one more bully guy. But in the book, I think he's like the most evil character Stephen King's ever written. Like even he talks about how Patrick is a very young boy, like at 5. He has no concept of other people as beings. He thinks he's the only thinking, feeling being in the universe, which mirrors Pennywise in a lot of ways. And his parents have another baby, and he smothers the baby because like he sees it as just something that's like disrupting his schedule and taking his mom away from him. And it's truly like one of the most upsetting things I've ever read. And so whenever people bring up like, oh, the most controversial scene in It, I'm like, oh my God, you must be talking about either Patrick Hockstetter as a little boy or Patrick Hockstetter when he abuses Henry, or the refrigerator scene. And then I'm like, oh, you're talking, oh yeah, that sewer scene's also weird. Not to defend that scene, but I think it kind of ends up being something people have seen like comments about and have imagined what they think it must be. Again, not to defend that scene, but just like I so often hear from people who have read it that it just doesn't even clock for them what the controversial scene must be, because there are just so many scenes. There are just chapters in that book that will leave you like, okay, I gotta pause. Ugh, what Henry does to Mike's dog. That book. Somehow it is about like the most evil things that could ever happen, and he just perfectly captures how beautiful childhood is. It's some like crazy balance. Oh, I gotta read Sharp Objects. And Patrick is one of the most upsetting like deaths in the book too, where because he has no sense of fear, like he doesn't think anything can harm him because he thinks he's the only thinking being in the universe. So when Pennywise materializes in front of him, it doesn't even know what form to take because he just has no fear, which I guess that then they're going to use in Welcome to Derry. But it just ends up appearing as leeches. Like the only thing he's ever feared is like one time a bunch of leeches got on him when he was swimming. And then of course he's like a leech, like he just takes and takes. Yeah, he's such an icky little character. And it makes sense that they cut him for the adaptations because it's like, it's something that's easy to cut. You don't like feel a lack of that storyline. But it's just kind of wild to actually make your way through the book and just see all these examples that Stephen King uses to be like, what is evil? What creates evil? You know, this example of someone being born evil. Like, you know, obviously it's this book about child death, and that's very upsetting. And then with Patrick, you have this moment of like relief. You're glad that something happened to him. And you're thinking, what would that kid have become? If he was so evil as a little kid, what would he have become? That's my Patrick Hockstetter rant. And then it's a book that ends so beautifully that it makes me tear up every time. What is everybody reading right now? It's definitely that time of year where it's like, okay, it's time for hobbies. It's time for reading. It's time to have something to do. I was saying to my Patrick, not evil Patrick, like when it hits this time of year and it gets dark at 5 p.m., I just feel like a parrot and someone's thrown a blanket over my cage. So I'm trying to fight. Oh, I swear I've had that one on Libby forever and haven't read it. The only Joe Hill book that I've read is Heart-Shaped Box. Oh, what's Lulu? I wish I'd highlighted more. Oh, I thought it was like a new horror book. Oh, that sounds great. Who's it by? Let me look it up. It sounded so ominous and creepy. Some of these usernames, you guys, they're so good. Patrick is a big self-help book guy. He was just reading. Oh, there's one I added to Libby because of him. Deep Work by Cal Newport. Rules for focused success in a distracted world. I hate when you haven't started a Libby book and you can see people are waiting and it's like, I'm so sorry guys, I haven't even started this one. Oh, and I've been getting into Nat Cassidy too. I just finished Mary and that was really good. Hey! I recommended, so I'm going to go with The Shining. I think The Shining is such a great entry point. And it's like peak Stephen King. Like it includes all the best elements of Stephen King where it has really scary moments and it shows how he's so good at making you get attached to characters. Like my issue with the Kubrick movie is right off the bat he's just scary. Like he's just a scary abusive dude. Thank you so much. And like in the book, it's very much about like this alcoholic who's trying to be better and he's just like, yes, I think so. And there are moments in that book that do not work in adaptations. Like there's a hedge animal scene. I was saying there's this playground scene that's so creepy and it's just nothing that translates to a movie. But yeah, when the movie just ends up becoming scary abusive husband, well, I've read The Long Walk, but I haven't seen the movie yet. Oh yeah, let me know what you think. And that's another just great audiobook that I've read that one a couple times too. The the only complaint that I've seen, and I didn't feel this the first time that I read it, but that I think Danny's supposed to be like 5. And some of the thoughts that he has just aren't anything a 5-year-old would think, but I don't care. Danny is a fun, great character. Ooh, okay, Boomer. I'm gonna look it up on Libby. Libby is just, oh, hell yeah. That sounds like such a great podcast. It's so fun to see those old horror movies and how pacing has changed so much too. I do think that the first time I watched Psycho as a kid, I was a little bit disappointed where it was like, That's it. I just love Mike Flanagan. I liked Doctor Sleep. I liked the movie. I just think I was kind of disappointed in the book in general. I just didn't care about Abra. And nothing like the little actress was so great. But it's like the book starts and you're back with Danny and you're back with Dick Halloran, and it just is so nice to like catch up with these characters. And then suddenly we're with this new character and I just didn't care about her very much. Mimi, you have to see Jeepers Creepers, and then you have to tell me what you think. It's so much less gory than you think, Texas Chainsaw. I think I may have seen the 2003 remake before I saw the original. There's just something about it. Oh, I've seen this thing Between Us recommended, but I haven't read that yet. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw is just one of those where you just want to like shower after. Creepers Beavers, that's so good. I just didn't care about Abra. Like, suddenly it felt like a Marvel movie. Like, we were seeing the beginning of her superpowers. The spoon scene, I just didn't care. I just wanted to be back with Danny. Truly. That sums it up so perfectly. It just feels like, yeah, just something you found in like a back alley. And then you're like, did this happen? Yeah. You're going to want to shower after. And Jeepers Creepers. The pun on the license plate. I used to have a car that wouldn't start on the first try a lot. Like I had this old 2004 Jetta, and I thought about Jeepers Creepers every time where it's like da, 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 da. Oh, I can't, you have to see Blair Witch. That's another one where the pacing is so bizarre. I would love to know what Blair Witch was like to see, like when it first came out and it was marketed like it had really happened. You watch it in the shower horror movie. I think about that with Scream too. I think the two that I've seen that were like a big shock in the theaters were I saw Barbarian and Hereditary when they first came out. And like the the sound the audience made when it cut, just in case people haven't seen Barbarian, I won't spoil it, but when it cut to Justin Long, so good. No, I haven't. I never watched Psych. I need to be better about watching TV in general. All the time, Patrick will be like, oh, should we like catch up on this new show? Like Chair Company. We've been watching Chair Company. But then I'll be like, I don't know if I'm in the mood. It's kind of a weird tone. What if we watch Lakeside Retreats on HBO? I still have to see Weapons. And that makes me happy because for some reason I gotten the idea that people didn't like Weapons very much. And that people liked Barbarian a lot more. So that makes me excited to see it. It must have been, it has to have been, I think you should leave sketch. That then they were like, wait, I think that we can make this a show. It has to. I, I, I go back and forth where I'll really, really like it. But then I just kind of want him to be like, when he acts like a person, the show works for me. When he's just kind of a Tim Robinson character, doesn't quite work for me. It's it's such a bizarre tone to even explain. It's like he's uncovering a conspiracy theory. And I love Tim Robinson. I think he's so funny. And I really liked I think you should I would love to get more I think you should leave. Or I'd love Chair Company to become fully horror. Like get really, really creepy. But God, I'm so excited to watch the new episode of Welcome to Derry. God, I when if anyone who actually is doing a reading or rereading of Revival, I can't wait to hear what you think. I'm so excited, and I've been really good about avoiding spoilers for Weapons. Like, I saw the Witchy Lady, but I don't know anything else. I think that they only have 4 episodes out. I think that they came out with a trailer for episode 5, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. It feels like it's been a bit since we've gotten like a really scary horror movie. A lot of the horror that's come out recently, I'm just not a I say as I talk about Revival, I'm just not a fan of like super nihilist horror. And like Bring Her Back and Talk to Me. Oh, and the Smile movies are just too nihilistic for me. I'm a binge girl too. If I'm not if I'm not immediately flipping to the next episode, then I lose momentum. I really liked Heretic. Hugh Grant as the bad guy. I'm loving this new streak of Hugh Grant playing the bad guy. I mean, streak. I'm only thinking of Heretic and Paddington too, but great in both. I haven't seen Companion though. Yeah, that's how I feel. I think it was on. I think it was when Sam Sanders was on Too Scary Didn't Watch. He pointed out. He made a really thoughtful point about how like it speaks to this era of, especially with the Smile movies, that you could do everything right and things will still go wrong, and like that's how it feels to be living right now. But I think I just don't want that in horror because it's happening in real life. Hugh Grant. Just cast Hugh Grant as the bad guy and everything. He seems to be having so much fun. He seems to be having way more fun than he had playing the hot guy. Oh, this is a short film recommendation, but the last one that really, really creeps me out, and I do think it came out a couple years ago, but did anybody see Portrait of God? It creeped me out so much. I think it's only like 7 minutes. So if you want something creepy, bookmark it on YouTube. It is so good. Oh yeah, who is the bad companion? It's Jack, Meg Ryan's kid. I'm blanking on his, but he's great. He was in a rom com with one of the girls from Pen 15 that was really good. Quaid. Yeah, there it is. I could picture his dad, but I couldn't come up with the last name. Also, he seems like such a thoughtful Nepo baby. Like, he had a really great quote about how having famous parents opens doors for you, and sometimes that's the hardest part about success. And I was like, see, that's all people want. People just want an acknowledgement that, like, you got a little boost up. Pen 15 is so good. But a show I can't, not a bingeable show. Because it's like you watch a couple episodes and you're like, oh man, middle school was so hard. Yes, the wedding date one. So good. We're not getting enough fun rom coms. Take me back to How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I just want a new Kate Hudson. Or bring me back Kate Hudson. Throw Kate Hudson in a rom com. Yeah, you're like, oh, baby 15-year-old me. With my North Face I wore every day and my low ponytail. Please don't make me ever go back. Sometimes I picture like going back to your middle school self or your high school self and trying to give them advice about the future, and they're like, so does it get better? And you're like, well, so a lot's gonna happen, but it does get better. But there will be a global pandemic, but somehow it's still easier than middle school. It's different. The stinky Ugg boots, because I'm here in Seattle, and so everybody's Ugg boots were just wet. Different bad. You like yourself. See, and that's the big change. You and you have better friends. And you can drive. God, the trauma of trying to sneak a tampon to the bathroom. Oh man. The deja vu blast that just went through me. Trying to like slip a tampon up your sleeve and then like sneak it to the bathroom. And now can you imagine like caring? Yeah, the world is a nightmare. Democracy has fallen apart. But you're so much happier. You're just happier as a person. Your brain chemistry has settled. There's little treats. You get to buy yourself little treats. You get to buy plants. Somehow just having time for a walk feels like absolute bliss. Yeah. Oh, do you achieve your dreams? No, but interestingly, you decide you actually don't want those dreams. And that's fun too. Yeah, you'll find medication that makes your brain work right. It turns out all you needed was a little norepinephrine in your brain, and you would just be happier. It's wild. Just a little like receptor change. I was talking about it with my psychiatrist at some point because she was like, I'm so sorry, like I love to just nerd out on the brain chemistry part. It was like, please nerd out. That's so fascinating. You just change a couple of receptors in my brain and suddenly I'm not just like an ADHD puddle with just a bunch of tasks piling up. I got really lucky with this one. I have been trying this new technique where I go on Psychology Today and I go by vibe. And I scroll, scroll, scroll. God, I was tempted to show people, and then I was like, these are real human beings. Like, I'll scroll, 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 I'll go by vibe, and somehow that's worked. I found a therapist I really liked, and I found a psychiatrist who's really cool. Because, like, I had waited for a long time before seeing a psychiatrist because, to be honest, working in customer service, I met so many weird psychiatrists. And I just had this idea of like, psychiatrists aren't good with people. They see the human brain as kind of a math equation. But that's not true. I just had real stinkers, or met real stinkers while I was working in customer service. But man, I think what sucks about finding good mental health help is like it's like dating, but then you're doing it, you're most likely looking for somebody to talk to when you have absolutely no expendable energy. And it's like the trickiest thing I think is you need to find a therapist when you're doing well, so you just have that foundation for when things aren't going well. Because, yeah, I have had some stinker therapists too, and they were definitely people that I found when it was like, oh my God, I have to be talking to somebody. And then you're panic looking, and then you end up with the weirdos. I had one who told me I wasn't depressed. I just, for Halloween, my friends and I had like drawn a Ouija board, and she was like, you invited dark energy into your life. I was like, again, I just think the brain chemistry is off. And then I found there was this woman I was talking to. So I was working at a vet hospital during lockdown. And so working at a vet hospital was incredibly stressful, and I'd bring it up a lot. And at one, I could tell she looked bored. And I was like, are therapists allowed to look bored? And I was like, you're reading into it. Like, you're so anxious. You're reading into her face. But I would like log into the Zoom, and she was just like, and at one point, I was complaining about this job, and she went, I want you to put your hands out like this and pretend you're reading the story of your life. Now put it up. How's the view? And I was like, yeah, you're fucking fired. You're so fired. Not texting. Oh, out care. Oh, just so everybody on TikTok knows, Augustus on YouTube is recommending Outcare for queer people and allies needing any kind of doctor or therapist. And there are really great people over there. I had one, when money was really tight, I went to this low-cost therapist. I think she like just graduated, or she was graduating. And first, because she knew I did, or I mentioned doing theater, so she would relate everything to Sondheim. Like, everything would connect back to Sondheim, where she'd be like, do you feel like you're in the woods? And it was like, and then she would fall asleep. She moved appointments to 3 p.m. and every time I'd be talking and she'd be like, you'd watch her fighting sleep. She truly, everything came back to Sondheim. And I'm not a musical person. I don't hate musicals, but I was like, I don't know. I just think I'm really depressed. A fish tank? Isn't a fish tank like a ton of work and expensive? Yeah, sing something from Assassins. When I found this awesome woman here, and she's involved in just like social justice stuff, which really spoke to me, where it's like, I feel like at my worst in depression, I'm just so like internally focused. And I was like, ideally, I would love to be of help to the community around me. So I would love somebody that I could really look up to. And really speaking to somebody who's actually listening and actually connecting, it was like, oh wait, this is therapy that everybody's been talking about? There are just so many weirdos out there. And meanwhile, I'm just on her couch, like, or when you're depressed and then you have your depression outfit where it just becomes your go to. I definitely wound up with like my depression sweaters where it's like, I think I'll just wear this for 3 months. Oh, and also, oh, these are such good recommendations. I guess it says there's also an app called Everywhere is Queer that shows everything from local hair salons, yoga studios, and other businesses that are safe. Oh, that rocks. I've never heard of that. Love a depression hoodie. And then when you finally emerge from your depression, you look at it and you're like, I need to get rid of this. Yeah, I had this like striped sweatshirt from American Apparel that I loved so much. And it was just like the perfect depression sweatshirt. Sometimes sweatshirts. And it took so I I've been unemployed and it really took having this time to really focus on mental health and to have all of the dust settle mental health wise where like there there wasn't like my excuse is the wrong word, but these things of like, oh, I must be anxious because like I'm so stressed about work or I'm so stressed about this. And having all the dust settle elsewhere made me finally realize like, oh, like something else is going on, and then finally got an ADHD diagnosis. Hello Stratera, if anybody's on it. I'm really loving it. Not great. It's brutal out there. But also, I think I posted about this. It's been a nice push creatively to be like, go for the things you actually want. Like, obviously, if you're pursuing anything creative, all you're going to hear is like, well, it's so hard, and like, it's such a risk. But now just getting a normal job is so hard. So it's been a good push to be like, really put energy into the things that make you happy. It's absolutely insane. I mean, there was, especially a few years ago, especially like when I was applying for restaurants like pre lockdown, it just felt like you truly could do the boomer recommendation of just like walking into a restaurant and handing them your resume. I had multiple jobs where I just got hired on the spot and they were like, well, can you start Monday? Oh, I'm so sorry for the layoff. So many people have gotten laid off. It's just insane. Here in Seattle, there was like another huge Amazon layoff recently. And it's that balance of like, oh, that's just, oh. And then I'm trying like there's the balance of like the fear of job searching obviously, and then that feeling of having time finally. Like I was telling a friend this is the best I've ever done during this season. Like usually just this season of losing daylight really quickly is so it's just hard for my brain. And just being able to actually follow your body clock, like slow down when it hits nighttime and be most productive during the day. It's so lovely, and then it's so infuriating that capitalism. Here, I'm going to go on a capitalism rant. That capitalism pushes us to go against every instinct within us. Like this is supposed to be a time of slowing down and recharging, and instead we all just feel sad because you're fighting those instincts and feeling like you have to be productive. Yeah, the guilt of having time. You're not aggressive enough. You just have to walk in there and thrust your resume at somebody. And there's so many fake jobs out there right now. Um, the Financial Diet had a really great episode about it recently, that there's just so many like ghost jobs out there. And it feels like looking for creative jobs because there's so much pressure to have a social media presence and like be able to really present yourself in a certain way. And I feel like candidates who would be a really great fit for certain jobs aren't being noticed because it's like people are auditioning for jobs. Oh, that's so beautiful. Isn't it crazy the thoughts that come up the second you can hit pause? I felt like I started to really experience burnout symptoms back in like 2019, which was an inopportune time to burn out. And then once lockdown started, I felt like I was kind of running on backup reserves. Like, okay, you got to buckle down the next few weeks. Remember when we thought it would be like a couple weeks are going to be weird. And then I just felt like I totally ran on empty where I just fully burned out. I was experiencing all the symptoms of just like I had just felt teary and irritable all the time. And being able to fully like crash and just being able to fully just burn out, recharge. I had like old feelings come up of just like, oh my God, like I'm frustrated from some old customer service interaction. It's like you get all this mental health advice about don't let yourself burn out because burnout recovery is so hard. But how do you not burn out in today's world? Like, in what realm can you actually take time to recover without a layoff? Like, how insane is that? Oh, I gotta look up the D&D thing. Oh, you're cruising right to the end. Oh, you have to let me know what you think when you finally hit the end. 5 hours from it. You're in the home stretch. And what I think all the time about so many people are having moments of like, oh man, I went to go get help with this thing and like the person was so frustrated with me or it just feels like everybody's on edge, everybody's burned out. And I think of how many people are at jobs they hate because there's not time to find something that you're actually passionate about. Or financially, you just couldn't do the thing that you actually love doing. Yeah. It's like self care, especially in today's world, is so often talked about like just a cute little bonus, like take a bath and put on hand lotion. I had a therapist who's fucking obsessed with hand lotion. But truly, self care has to be, and self care isn't just like letting yourself. I, I do think rotting on the couch is important self care, but it's also so many other things to like build up the foundation under you. So when something happens, you don't just get your legs knocked out from under you. And I just don't think society is built in any way to do that. Yeah. Steven Weber's amazing. His character work in that is insane. And hot take, I like his Pennywise more than Bill Skarsgård's. There's no safety net. And now it's like if you take 3 days off at your job, it's viewed as some whole thing where it's like, oh, you're taking 3 whole days off. Or with all these layoffs, people are terrified to take time off. When when the pandemic first started, I really thought, God, if there's any silver lining that comes out of this, at least we'll have to call out of work when we're sick. Like people will be forced to like slow down. And instead we live in this world where there's even more guilt if you call out sick. Like rats. See, that's exactly it. It's forcing yourself to go out and socialize. As a Taurus and a homebody, so often I will just want to be home. But so I've been doing the Artist Way. I think I have my Artist Way book with some friends. And Julia Cameron advises doing an artist date where you have to do a solo venture somewhere. And it doesn't have to be something big. Like it could be like you go to a museum by yourself. But it could also be like someone in a group I was in mentioned like, I took a bath and lit candles and read poetry. And I just think that it is one of the most key components of a self-care routine that I've ever found. Because you have to make time for you and you can't invite anybody else. And you just have to spend time with you and like go to a new park or do something that's novel. He's so good. He's so good. He made each character feel unique. And what, it's 45 hours long? God, he's so good. I wish he did more Stephen King books. I kind of wish he did The Stand because it's Grover. Oh, I'm blanking on the audiobook. And I don't not like him. But I just found The Stand audiobook just didn't click for me. The other self-care thing, I think I stumbled across this advice on TikTok, but as we lose daylight, focus on making recipes that are more colorful. And I've been doing that. Like I made some sort of orzo thing with squash and spinach, and it just helped to like have a colorful plate. I swear, last fall I just kept making beige meals. Patrick and I would joke that it was just like glop. We're just making a lot of glop meals. I have to reread Carrie. I don't think I've read Carrie since middle school. Ugh, I just love that man. Oh, I haven't listened to any of the Game of Thrones. Let me look up the guy who did The Stand. Let's do a quick little Google. Not to put him on blast. Grover Gardner. And he just reads a lot of it like this. And it's not bad. Yeah, truly. I was making myself gruel. There are so many of those like bag pasta dishes from Trader Joe's, and I would just make like a big pile of glop. I'm gonna do more just yap sessions. This has been nice. Sometimes, speaking of ADHD, when I'm doing like the Nancy Drew lives, if people ask me questions, my brain can't do the questions and the Nancy Drew. So I was like, let me just do a chatty one. Who does the Game of Thrones guy? Let's do lives where I just Google stuff and I just sit here. Roy Dotrice. I gotta read those. I want to find like a good quote from On Writing. Something that's really hit me, I think especially reading Revival and being in my 30s this time reading it. And the book really covers like, I think the characters like, it goes from like 6 to like 12 to 36. And then he's like, I think he's in his 50s or 60s. And just like the passage of time hits so differently versus, just reading it in your 20s. And it's hit me a lot reading this memoir that he wrote 25 years ago. And I wish he would do like a rebooted version of, okay, well, what do you know now? Now that you're an old guy. Oh, thank you so much. That really means the world. Oh, Google Deep Dive sounds fun. Because Patrick can help me do the tech side where I could pull up a Chrome screen and we could just Google. Oh yeah, if you guys want to, if anyone in here hasn't joined the Discord, I updated the link in my bio. And it's such a good group. It's just people sharing like the art that they're working on and crafts. People do incredible sewing projects. It's just such a great group of people. And it's just, oh, there's someone who does like incredible miniatures. I just love seeing the creative stuff people work on where you go, oh, my brain doesn't work that way at all. I also just I want to be better about doing crafts without the thought of, I wonder if I could make this into a project. Like, it was fun doing the little clay guys project, but then I think I immediately put pressure on it when the whole goal was, let me do a doofy little clay guy project. And, oh, with the Percy Bysshe Shelley thing, then I started to get like really, as soon as I started to delve into stop motion, then I wanted to be really good at it. And it's just really hard to be good at stop motion. So I just want to be better about like, just make stuff to make stuff. Don't be like, is it good? Do people like it? How well did it do? I think I want to seek out stuff where I'm like, I will be bad at this. Like watercolors. I have no part of me is good at painting. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. The ending makes me cry. It's shockingly beautiful. I can't wait to know what you think. Exactly that. Pumpkin carving or something. Where you're just like, you're getting your hands messy. You're just involved in something, but then you're not like, I wonder if I could start an Etsy store with carved pumpkins, you know? Watercolor is so hard. It's one of those art forms that when you see it, it looks so simple. Well, probably not. You probably don't think that going to art school. You can probably see how intricate it is. But then it's so hard. See, and that was exactly me. That was exactly me doing stop motion. And poor Patrick had to witness it. Where I was like, there's a whole like stop motion app, and they do the hard work for you. Like, all you have to do is just move the little guys in little slight motions. And so you feel like you've done, well, you don't just feel like it, you have done hours of work. And then it just goes, and that's it. That's all you did. I haven't been doing any crafts lately. I've just been hiking. We're in this time of year where either it's super gloomy and it feels like the sky is like here, or it's so beautiful. I was literally, could a depressed person make this? I was going to see if I could pull any of it up. Oh, and the thing I've been obsessed with is we've hit the time of year where the salmon are swimming upstream, and I'm obsessed with the salmon. There's something about seeing like actual salmon swimming upstream that's kind of horrifying but majestic. Like, it's such a big fish, and you're used to seeing it like a dead salmon. But seeing actual salmon is so crazy. Cooking a baby. I was just about got you. I just felt like a mom. Like, let me put my glasses on. Wait until I get a load of this. I was like, close your photos. I went to, for anyone in Seattle, I went to the Ballard Locks hoping to see some fish, but none. But I took myself on a little field trip on one of my artist dates. And it was cool. So, no fish, but there's this like, because it's, the Ballard Lock separates two bodies of water and there's a huge height difference. So there's this boat elevator where the boat like enters the Ballard Locks. And then they like raise the pressure and it comes up and they move them to the different body of water. It was fascinating. I just felt like a little dad watching the boats go. An owl's body. I feel like that's lucky too. But it was so cool. Oh no, you just left the maternity ward? Congrats. How are you feeling? A November baby. I'm like, is that a Sagittarius? What are the dates? Or a little Scorpio baby. But now I want to see go to salmon hatchery. That's wild. A little Scorpio baby. Congratulations. That's so exciting. I'm a Taurus. I've loved every Scorpio I've ever met. So I give your baby 2 thumbs up. Patrick and I went to a wedding down in Dallas mid-October. And somehow we arrived for just like perfect weather. A baby with a lot of feelings. It's so funny. I got usernames mixed up and I just thought that Y'all Nature is Crazy was just about pregnancy and I was like, it is. It is. It's crazy how huge Texas is. We were looking at it, we were trying to figure out like, oh, so if we go to this wedding, like maybe we can bebop around and do some other stuff. And just the massiveness of Texas is crazy. I know, I want to hear the baby name too. But there's no pressure. God, the other crazy talent I've seen Fox Bears. The trauma makeup you did was amazing. That was absolutely incredible. For anybody who joins the Discord. Absolutely amazing. Oh, that's just a beautiful name. God, doing just a chat corner is delightful, you guys. Next time we do one, I'm going to dig up my actual copy of Revival. I know it's somewhere. I kind of wonder if I lent it to somebody. So does Wonder and Joy and Hope. See, we were talking about like advice you'd pass on to younger you. Like, life remains consistently horrifying. But also it's just such a rainbow of things. I read Parable of the Sower back in high school, but I definitely have that on shelf. I would love to do a reread of that. I feel so honored. I feel beyond honored. Oh, God, isn't that crazy to think you're a parent now? God, when did people stop naming their kids Nancy? When's the last time you met a Nancy, like a young Nancy? It's just a yap session. We started around 7. I just did a little chatty one. No Nancy Drew. But I'll finish Castle Malloy. I'm looking at my calendar. Tuesday. Yeah, it'd be fun to just do a book club corner. Are you on Mountain Time? It's 8:30 over here. Bible camp. Central Time. Oh, I don't know if I could how to show the chat screen. That would be nice to like so everybody's looped in. So both chats can see each other. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I was just thinking I'm gonna move that question on to Patrick because I bet he can figure something out. It would also be nice, like, I wonder if there's a way to post clips where the chat shows cow and chicken. Cow and chicken is especially gross. The udders. Also, now Davis is here, so now he has incredible Stephen King takes. Puppies. The way you have to keep puppies from just like eating everything. That's why the puppies blues are such a thing, where it's like I think a lot of people have this moment of, oh my god, did I want a puppy? And you want a puppy. And just like the constant diarrhea. When I was at the vet hospital, people would call all the time where it's like, oh, my dog has diarrhea. And it's like, I'm so sorry. That's just sort of the thing. I worked as a CSR for a little over a year. And then my mom's worked as a receptionist for over 25 years. So, vet hospital Nepo baby. But yeah, are you in vet med? See, they just find things. My parents got a chocolate lab and she was even she will gnaw on their drywall. Oh, that's awesome. Vet techs are just the best. The number of times the vet techs I worked with totally saved my butt when I had a client question. And you guys are just always cool as a cucumber. Schedule naps. Yeah, I joke with Patrick, we don't want kids and I never get baby fever, but I will definitely get kitten fever. And TikTok pushes kitten content on me so much. And sometimes I'm like, what if we just got one more? But Franklin and Rosie I only need two. See, that is just the kindest thing. I for sure burned out as a CSR just because, like, there are just some, especially just working through lockdown, like, people can be so mean. And then that 10-hour shift just felt brutal. It was so weird going from that to an office job where it was like, do you guys do anything? Like, there's nothing to do here. I just sit in this office for 8 hours and the time moves so slowly. But I was just so used to being at the vet hospital and just being like, oh. Well, see, now that's what I'd say if I just found a kitten and it really needed a home. Oh, that's so great. Cat distribution system. See, we absolutely no judgment to anybody with kids. That's not what I'm going to say. But we love our childless life. We love our childless home. We just have Franklin and Rosie. And Franklin is a menace. I mean, he wakes us up promptly at 7 a.m. by running laps around the bed until he gets wet food. And that's all the responsibility I can handle. It's just like, what if he found a kitten? What is it? We're not going to take in a kitten? Yeah, it's insane to me that they're turning 12 in March. It's just such a crazy moment of like, no, I just got them like they're little babies. And then it's like, oh my God, a decade has passed. Yeah, these two, I got Franklin and Rosie when I moved into a studio by myself and I knew like, okay, I want to get cats of my own. And oh, I was gonna get a kitten as like a birthday present to myself when I was turning 23. Uh, and I'd arranged to adopt one kitten and then that didn't work out. And then I was like, I'm just gonna go look. I went to like PetSmart or something and this woman was hosting an event. And I was like, oh no, I only want one. And she was like, well, I'm not adopting. She was like this really tough woman. She was like, I'm not adopting a single kitten out. And I was like, well, I work remotely. Like, the kitten won't be lonely. And she's like, just take both and then you can always return one. And suddenly I had two cats. Like I was going to return a kitten. Yeah, what if I just happened to swing by a shelter? There was just a little kitten who really needed a home. And I think Franklin and Rosie would be good with another kitten. Insane sales. And it worked. I think it was even for a 2-for-1 special. She just really didn't want one kitten to be alone, which is fair. Like I think they are way happier having a little buddy. And then kittens teach each other how to kitten. Like I think you end up with cats who, well, Rosie is mean. I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say that they teach each other not to be too aggressive, but that's not true. Rosie is really mean. Like I was going to come back with one kitten and be like, no, I just wanted the one. but they were so small, especially at that time. I didn't really have any friends that I wanted to like, I didn't have any friends I could really trust to cat sit. And so I would travel with them on the plane. And at the time, they could both squish into one carrier. But then when they hit the point where they had to travel in separate carriers, then they make you buy the seat next to you. And then I was like, okay, now I've approached crazy cat lady territory. Now I gotta figure something out. That's so sweet. Yeah, when I moved back, I briefly lived with my parents, so my cats lived with their dog, and they just weren't big dog fans. But sometimes Patrick and I are like, if we just got like a little like 12-pound dog, like we think about a dog that we could just kind of hold, a forearm length dog. I think that the cats would do well. God, we've talked about ADHD, and I just really wish for next time I do a Yap session, I'm going to come in with highlighted quotes that I wanted to share. See, that's exactly what I want. A friend of mine has a dog about that size, and they're just so cute. They're so perfect. Five cats, three dogs. I would love to have a pug someday. Cat people are good at sales. There's something about it. They just make a cat sound extremely easy, and cats are pretty easy. But there's something about it where suddenly you're like, maybe I need to look in. Oh, two big dogs. Well, and the King Charles Spaniels are just so sweet. They're just like sweet dogs. They're good with everybody. I know. I'm going to come in with an outline of talking points next time. This has just been nice to just kind of jump all over the place. Because I kind of wanted to dig into Revival, and then I was like, it's so, it's such a dark book. It's kind of nice to just bounce all around and talk about other things. It's been so fun playing through all these old Nancy Drew games, though. It's been especially fun playing the ones. I kind of thought only the ones that I'd already played through would be fun. We're like, okay, if I don't have deja vu for it, it's going to be the same way. But oh my god, Shadow Ranch was so fun. And now Castle Malloy. I know. I'm kind of like, I just want to loop back through them. But people have been recommending so many good ones. And I kind of like this idea. I was telling Patrick, because I am not a gamer, I kind of like the idea of trying to get good at like a true game, like The Last of Us or something. But I don't know if that would be fun to watch or kind of boring to just see me die over and over. So I recommended The Shining. I'm going to recommend The Shining because I think it's the best of every Stephen King element, where you get the spooky elements, but you also get the warmth of a Stephen King book. And then I really love the ending of it. And there's so many parts in there, I was saying this earlier, but there's so many parts in there that definitely haven't been spoiled. Where, for sure, like the old woman in the hotel room you've had spoiled and blah, blah, blah. But there are some really, really good ones. Oh, I'm gonna look into Dispatch. Yeah, people have recommended some really good ones. And I'm trying to embrace change. And I'm like, when Nancy Drew ends, that just makes way for something new. And that's okay. But I'm just gonna be so sad. It's just been so fun playing something so nostalgic. I have been considering the Agatha Christie games. And part of me is like, we could always backtrack through one every now and then. Especially, I'm feeling cocky over these Castle Malloy puzzles, and I'm like, maybe I go back through and really try to solve puzzles instead of just like cheating. Rusty Lake Cube Escape. I'll look it up. Oh. Oh, this looks really cool and creepy. See, there's. Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly the vibe I'm looking for, too. Well, and part of me wants to do a replay because half of them we just did with Patrick's like Dell camera. So like the camera wasn't great. So part of me wants to do a replay kind of like Evil Dead 2 where he refilmed it once he had better equipment. But maybe I'll venture into new games and then just every now and then duck back. And we still have quite a few to go. I just don't know how excited I am for like the ones without Lanny Manila voicing Nancy Drew. Yeah, join the Discord. It's just an incredible group of people. And it's just such a nice reminder, especially like when the news can feel so bleak, where it's like there are so many kind people out in the world who are making fun little projects, and it's just a nice mood boost. Oh, now I really want to try these Rusty Lake ones. This looks really fun. And I just love a point and click. And feel like if you join the Discord, feel super free to hype up what wherever you sell your stuff. Especially around the holidays, it'd be nice to just support cool local artists and not Amazon. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm for sure adding this onto my to play. See, so many great recommendations. Change is good, change is okay. Just keep saying it over and over. I have to write it on a chalkboard. Change is good, change is okay. It's so funny. October went by so fast. I just don't feel like I soaked up like a lot of spooky stuff. But now I'm trying to really revel in fun holiday stuff. Yeah, change is okay and not deeply horrifying. I like it. I like it when things change. I like that uncertainty is a part of life and there's no getting around it. I think that's okay. Well, see, and the cat thing is like dogs just immediately like you. There's something about, especially my moody Rosie. It's so nice, like, winning over this little creature. Like, Rosie, since she was a tiny, tiny kitten, has just been such a little fearful animal. Like, you would really, really think that she was some feral cat I'd coaxed in from the street. But she's just full of anxiety. Fear. And there's something about, oh, I have made a home where this little creature feels safe that just means so much. They love the catnip banana. And the pickle that Chewy has. They love the catnip pickle. I've been thinking of spending $15 on one of those cardboard houses. Yeah, it just means so much. It's like when a cat finally trusts you, it just means so much. Yeah, I want to revel in all the holiday stuff. Ever since Zoran won, I'm like, I feel like I'm in the holiday spirit. I finally feel like there's something worth celebrating. Let's string up lights and celebrate. I swear that there's a mood in the air of optimism. And I've noticed multiple homes seem to have like decorated early and stuff. See, torties are just their own. It's such a specific little personality. And Rosie loves to get into the blanket and cuddle too. I swear she's like too smart. She would live an easier life if she weren't so smart. See, I want one of the cardboard houses. There's a greenhouse one that I really want. And I'm like, do I need to spend $15 on this? Maybe. And it seems to have pretty good structural integrity. Oh, that's smart. See? And even the little chewy, like, little cardboard boxes that they had where you just spread the catnip. I know it feels so dumb. It's a silly thing to spend money on, but the cats love them. We've been getting more snow the past couple of years, and I think it was 3 years ago, we got this insane ice storm where it was like freezing rain overnight, and when we woke up, there was like 2 inches of ice. The whole city had shut down. It was so crazy. And Seattle is a super hilly city, so there were videos of people just sliding down hills. Franklin hasn't made an appearance, but I can hear him snoring just off screen. This was so fun, you guys. Well, and cats flip out when you don't feed them immediately. Franklin will work himself up into a fervor if we don't feed him wet food, like promptly by 7 a.m. It's still hot. That was one of the reasons that I left LA. It was just nice to like have seasons again. And obviously then the downside to Seattle is it can be so gray. But it's just we've had some really beautiful fall colors. Yeah, Franklin. So I have lights like this, but they're like more of like moonlights in our room, and Franklin will like pick them up and let them slam against the wall. The guy has two brain cells, and they only kick into gear when they're working to get fed. This was so great. I think I'll do another book chat and I'll actually have talking points. I went too much into wing it mode for chatting about Stephen King, but then this turned into such a lovely chat. Exactly, just the frozen. I had to wear my micro spikes around to not slip and slide. It's so funny. They're just like the schemes they come up with to get fed. But let me adjust this. But I'll be back Tuesday and we'll wrap up Castle Malloy. And I'll put up in the Discord a vote for the next Nancy Drew game. I was thinking, I was saying this last night, but I want to time it to do Waverly around the holidays. So I think let's do like a sunny, beachy one. So I'll put a vote for a nice, like, sunny one. Oh, that's smart to have some traction. Yeah. Have an amazing weekend, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. This was truly just like such a delight.